Well, good afternoon, everyone. Certainly is a pleasure to be back. I was sorting through the dairy goats this morning and get into the boar goat show. And again, just kick off with a class that, man, is this one's awfully tough. Why? Because we not one doe out here is similar in terms of type and kind. And so, again, as a judge, you got to know right off the bat where we're going to give and take in this class. And I think as we get up to the top two, those two are a little fancier in terms of their blade design and neck and how they come out of their shoulder blade. I think the one that's a notch bigger footed, the one that's a notch rounder bodied and bigger chested is this gal right here. Young lady, I like her an awful lot. She's not as level out of her hip maybe as the doe that's in second, and I think that one though, it's just got a little bit more extra right when we get on top of her. I think the one in second though, young lady's got that one presents really nice from the side. She gets a little bit flatter, a little plainer right in behind her and get in this view right here. And man, if she had just a little bit more feature at the ground, I could soar her up. I think that pair is close though. I think you can definitely work that one up into first. We got a dapple doe that's in third right here, and this one has all the muscle you need. I need her to be a little fancier off both ends in terms of her blade design and her hip. She gets a little rounder, young man, but man, that thing's got all the muscle in the class. And again though, I think you can definitely justify working her up in this class, no doubt about it. We got two does right here, both really big at the ground and good looking up front. Just give me more of them out here. I need more chest, more back, more width and cage and skeleton, but a really nice set. Congratulations.
Your first place exhibitor, Laura Moster. Second to Carly Hornberger. Third to Nathan Voss. Fourth, Carson Hornberger and Peyton Simon in fifth.
Well, we get out here in this class and another one that there's a lot of parts and pieces, and man, a guy could make a case to justify working some of these up in this class, and you wouldn't hear any argument from me, and that's going to provide a lot of discrepancy. I'm going to tell you where I'm at on them out here. I think I've got three right here that are all really good footed, really good necked, and present really nice from the side, and then I got one of the three that has so much back and so much pin set and feature. She doesn't want to present out here. And man, if that one would cooperate, I could tee off with that one, buddy, because there's not another one out here that out cages and outmasses that one. She's still good built from the side, and her fit out here, that one still gives me a good look. And man, I wish that one would present. That's a good stock. And I think we got two right here that are awfully pretty and good looking. Young man, if this one had any more hip, any more chest in her, when I get right on top of her, I could work her up. I think that one from the side is so elegant up through her blade and neck. She's good footed out here. Just need more mass in that one if we're going to get around the one that wins. But those two match up really well. This right here is where it gets close for me. I think we talk about the one that leads off. The front 2/3 of her are awfully good. She closes up more from behind. And we talk about her pin set and just natural width at the ground. And that's where I like this one, buddy. I think this one's got good pieces. We got to get those pieces to fit together a little better. Her shoulder doesn't blend quite as well. We don't get her hip to transfer maybe quite as smooth out from the side. And so we get down on these two right here. And again, I need more shape. I need a little more width, muscle on them, or they need to be a little fancier from the side. I think that's a tough class. Congratulations, those exhibitors.
Wes Rohrig, your first place exhibitor. Blake Wagner second. Third, Callan Wagner. Fourth to Colby Bushorn. Fifth and sixth to Colby Bushorn.
I think we got two on the top end that battle it out really well. And I think, again, they both have some differences that I like. Man, if I could put them together, I'd have a heck of a doe. And I think the one that's better footed, the one that's better in her pasterns, the one that's cleaner in terms of condition, a little neater up front in her neck and blade, the one that wins. And I think she's got plenty when we talk about loin and pin set to get around the one that's second. Because, man, that one packs a big punch out here. That one is the wide built, big backed one. That one's got the biggest loin out here. And again, that one's getting a little heavy in terms of condition. It's starting to give up front and starting to give in her rear pasterns out here. That one, just build-wise, is starting to give a little bit in terms of condition. Need to tone that back a little bit, and then I can definitely run her up in this class. But again, that one is so powerful and big-backed out here. I think we got a difference between size and maturity. Young lady, I'm going to give up a little bit of size, but I'm going to get a better build. And I think that one, give me more of her to move her up higher, but I still think that one's a little neater in her design than the one that's 4 in this class. And as we got out here, you can definitely justify that one up, young man. That one's a little bigger in her outline. I need to tie in a little neater out of her blade and hip, just the way she gets out in motors in this class. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Your first place exhibitor, Luke Seringhouse. Caden Wheeler second. Third to Macy Seringhouse, and fourth to Wade Rohrig. Now we'll show for your champion percentage, Joe Junior, 3 to 6 months.
Well, a very competitive first division out here, and man, first and seconds alike, right out of the gate, we're hitting it. Tons of quality, tons of look out here, good females, just across the board. And I think we got a set of first right here that all present really well. I think, again, putting emphasis on cage shape and loin and pin set and feature, I think these put together the most positives from that standpoint. But again, those seconds have good pieces out here. I think the two that are out of those later classes, maybe a notch better out of their hip than what the black doe is, but front 2/3 of that one are awfully good, young lady. I still like that doe an awful lot. Young man, that one does not want to cooperate one bit. You get your hands on her and she is hot, she is worked up. Make sure you definitely keep that one hydrated throughout the day. She is very warm to the touch out here, and man, that one is it's my favorite one out here, but my least favorite attitude-wise. She doesn't want to present. She's really open in her blade, and I know that's not her out here. That one is good-looking and powerful, and I think the call you got to make, this young man is really putting such a good look on this one. This one is elegant from the side. I wish she had a little more forerib. I wish that one was just a little bit more just genuinely powerful like that one in front of her, and man, I like that kind an awful lot. Bottom line, they got a show today. We're champion reserve. Congratulations.
Luke Seringhouse exhibits your champion and homegrown champion. Wes Rohrig, your reserve champion and reserve homegrown.
Well, a very competitive class, and I think a guy could definitely switch up in a few areas. Wouldn't argue with you one bit. I think it's who's holding on the microphone, where you put emphasis and muscle in relation to build all day. As we ask him to come out of that gate, I need him to be heads up. I need him to be balanced, wide-chested, big back, good-looking. How much muscle can we jam in him and keep him good-looking? That one right there, buddy, that one keeps my eye pretty quick out here. That one's the fanciest neck, widest-chested one that, man, gets out and goes. though. She's got a big back in her, still looks like a lady though, and I like the way that one just presents herself so well in this class. What's the other one that matches her in terms of body shape, in terms of genuine width and their skeleton? This one right here, this view right here keeps her up in this class for me. We step off to the side though. I need her to be a little neater in her blade, young lady. I need that one to be a little fancier just in her lines if we're going to get around the one that wins. But I think that all brown doe though does a really nice job being second in this class. I think we talk about this doe right here. Of the remaining three, which one has checks boxes in terms of bone and feature, look and extension? She does. The folded ear doe, we've been talking about her just needing to be bigger in her cage and bigger in her hip out here. We do that, I can move her up, but her lines keep her up for me between these two down. I think that one's immature, needs more time. Right now she's kind of awkward, little PC in a maturity stage right now. This doe's just got a little more to her, a little better pin set. Both of them need to give me more in terms of mass, in terms of blitz. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Your first place exhibitor, Luke Seringhouse. McKenna Volt second. Third, Nathan Voss, Annika Struing, and then Eva Struing.
Well, another class that I think presents some challenge when we talk about different kinds. There's not one out here that's similar in terms of build, and so again, what you got to give up to get in each class as a judge, I'm going to give up some size, but what I'm going to gain is I'm going to gain the widest chested, biggest backed one. I'm going to gain the biggest loined one that's really round bodied. She's the best out of her upper hip. Watching that one go, even though attitude maybe isn't the greatest, her blade still lays in her nice out here. To me, I get that one to gather the most positives when we talk about her out here. Now again, these two right here are quite a bit bigger in terms of outline, in terms of length of body. I think this one keeps it close. She's a little better when we talk about just her extra length and how tall she is at the point of her shoulder. Both of them give up quite a bit of mass and just width of skeleton when we talk about the doe that wins. And so again, I think it's what you want to do as a judge out here. I think that one holds her lines together better than the one that's in third out here. And again, both of them just get a little plainer, a little flatter when you get right in behind them. And so again, where you put emphasis as a judge, I like wide chest, I like round body, I like big backs in them out here. And again, I think that's what I need of those two. I think we get to these two right here, and again, both of them really big out of their hip, good footed ones. They get a little longer, a little deeper in their blade, they get a little shorter bodied out here, things that we need to change on them. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Sophie Volts, your first place exhibitor. Wade Rorigan second. Nicholas Voss, Lucy Krieger, and Lucy Krieger.
Well, this is tough, and again, another class where we got so many different parts and pieces and kinds, and something you like about each one of them, maybe something you want to change. And so, again, that's going to provide the most discrepancy around ringside. I've got a doe right here, it's the smallest one in class, that's probably the best built, wildest bodied, biggest penned one out here. And then I've got one that's the biggest footed one, the one though that I can get maybe to present the nicest out here in terms of look and just provide maybe the best combination out here in this class. That might be the name of the game. She gets maybe not a little deeper right here in her front part of her blade, and one though that I definitely want to open up a little more, but I think she has enough. I think that one provides so many good things. The one that I enjoy watching walk around the ring that has balance, the one that's good bladed, the one that busts open into the best cage and hip out here, she needs a little more feature, and that one gives up quite a bit of size in this class. But man, young lady, that one is good built out here, good stock. I like that one an awful lot. And what she does so much better, that view going away right there. Need these does to open up more. I need them to be a little more genuine in their shape and width. But what they do so well is, man, they have that size advantage. They have length of body in them. And again, we just need those pieces to tie in a little neater. When we step into the show ring, we got a young lady that leads out on hands out on the bottom end. That's a good footed doe, young lady. She's not too fat. I want to get right in behind her. Just give me more. When we talk about muscle and width out here, that's a good class. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Blake Wagner, your first place exhibitor. Macy Seringhouse in second. Then Jane Lamping, Sarah Lamping, Carolyn Neese, and Rachel Lamping.
Well, you make it tough on a guy out here. Man, you talk about something that you like and maybe something you want to change as you get out here and just asking him how big-backed and wide-bodied can we make them, still keep them good-looking out here. And again, some things you're going to have to give up as a judge out here. I've got two does right here that I think fit together in terms of look, balance. They hold their top line together well. They're both wide-chested out here. I think the doe that wins a little better in her pin set. I think that one, again, just real neat up in her blade design. I like the way she fits together. Is she the biggest back, biggest hipped one out here? No, and by no means. But does she have enough for me to win this class? I think, again, what you want to give up as a judge and what you're willing to get. I think we talk about these two does. This doe in third, the all-black doe, very smooth down her top line. That one's got a notch more condition on her, which keeps her smoother out here. That one gets a little rounder, a little more jammed up off of both ends, but I think this one a little bit more length of body, a little bit more up in her neck and shoulder out here. And again, you want to switch them up. I wouldn't argue with you one bit out here. I think we talk about the next two out here just needing more in a couple areas, more pin set, more cage, and just forerib in them out here. I think from the side they can give you a nice look up through their front end, but I need more of them out here, more feature. As we work on down the line, the same things apply. As we get on top of them, I just need to ask them, give me more muscle, give me more width out here. Done a nice job feeding them though. Nobody's too fat out here. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Jack Strewing, your first place exhibitor. Second place is Jack Strewing. Katie Worth, Bradley Worth, Kristen Lewers, Lydia Neese, Maddie Weber, and Jackson Weber.
Oh, I love this class. This is a really good one out here, and I think as we talk about this set of does out here, I think second and third gets awfully close. The one that wins, that one's not the biggest one out here, and that doesn't matter to me out here because the size doesn't always win. That one's balance and lines are so good out here in this class. That one, challenge you to find another one that's built like that one from the side and has that kind of pin set and loin and how that one transitions conditions out here, I like her an awful lot to win this class. And I think we talk about these two. Both of them get just a little deeper in their blade. They both get just a little shorter bodied. They're maybe not quite as fancy from the side, but man, they both have that powerful big back and width in them out here. You can switch them up if you want to. I think that one's more appropriate in terms of condition. I think that one gets out and moves maybe just a notch better than the one in third, but I think that one in third, though, obviously, young man, we talk about her length of hip is a little better on her. She still just gets a little open. Maybe that one doesn't quite motor around as well out here, but you can definitely work her up into second over the dapple doe out here in this lineup. I think, again, we move on down and we've got two does that, man, they have lots of feature. They have lots of good pieces. We got to get them to fit together a little better. Give me a bigger back. Give me a bigger rib cage, and then we can move them up in class. Young lady, this one right now in her maturity, just a bit awkward right now. She's getting a little piecey. I think that one just needs time as she gets going. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Spencer Clayton, first exhibitor. Gracie Krieger in second. Sterling Rolls, then Kirsten Lures, and Claire Neese. Now we're going to show for your champion percentage doe 6 to 9 months.
Well, a very competitive division out here, and top to bottom, I mean, there's a lot of good ones out here. Second place is up across, and maybe a few more parts and pieces, or maybe needing a bigger back. Try to find the ones that represent totals out here. You know, big-backed ones, wide-chested ones, a big rib cage, and then still ones that are good-looking. And, you know, there's going to be some discrepancy there, and I wouldn't argue with you one bit. There was a lot of them classes where, man, around the sideline, you can make a case for a few to sort up. I think that we talk about the ones that stand out, and this doe down here out of that first class the young man has, I like that doe an awful lot. She is not one to show one pin set, and I think that one just a pain out here, not one to show the greatest. The young man that's on the end, though, right down here, that one hit me hard, young man. I think that one is presented very nicely out here. I think you get on top of her, though, and again, does she have enough pin set and cage to get around that one up front? I think that's the call you got to make as a judge out here. I think that one up front has all the good-looking parts and pieces, and then just a bigger back in her out here. I like them. Champion, reserve. Congratulations.
Luke Seringhouse is your champion and homegrown champion percentage doe. And Clayton Spencer is your reserve champion. Now we'll show up your reserve champion homegrown.
Well, we get out here for your reserve in the Bourne and division for this area, and we talk about, I think, a good set of does out here that represent really well. This one's interesting. Young lady comes back out with that all brown one that I liked an awful lot in class. Man, just that one's natural stance, neck, and blade is so good. Young lady, that one busts open into a really good shape to her cage and a big hip out here. She's just small and just needs time. Man, I like that one an awful lot, young lady. She's going to be reserve out here. Congratulations.
Macy Seringhouse, your reserve champion, Homegrown.
Well, we got a single entry, but boy, young lady, you know how to get a guy's attention real quick. That is a giant back and a hip, and man, that one is so good necked and good bladed out here. Man, I think that one's real nice. I'm excited to get her back out. Congratulations.
Aubrey Neal exhibits your champion, 9 to 12 month.
We're going to leave them how they are, and I think, that one up front, the young man has, I think that one gets a little heavy in terms of condition, young man. I think it's throwing her chest plate off just a little bit. She's still the better built one. She's still the better kind of doe in terms of her hind leg, length of hip, and her body balance is still really good out here. If we could tone that one down a little bit, I think she easily wins this class. Still love that one to win. I think this one touches a little better when you get your hands on her out here. That one just gets a little deeper, a little plainer right here, young lady, and just need her to be a little neater right out of her hip if we're going to get around that one, but very much more acceptable in terms of condition on her. Congratulations, both of you.
Your champion, 12 to 16 month, is Hunter Meyer. Your reserve champion is Maya Wren, and Maya is your homegrown champion.
Well, I think a very interesting class, and I think as we get down, they maybe get a little piecier. As we work up, they get a little smoother, they get a little bigger boned. I think we got a call you got to make between muscle and build out here. We got one that maybe is a little heavy out here, and then again, that one that wins. She's not the biggest out here, but that's okay. That one is so good up through her neck and blade. The way that one's front end presence is so good. She's got a giant hind leg in her, and that one's really good out of her hip and pin set. I enjoy watching that one walk the most out there, young man. I think that one really gives you a very good look out here. I think we talk about the other one, second and third. Which one's a little cleaner in terms of condition? The one in second, and again, that one's maybe not as fancy up through her front end in terms of design, but man, that one is powerful, big hip, good hind leg in that doe too out here. Again, just need her to be a little fancier up front. If we're going to get around that one, I think those two very nice out here. This one is the breeding piece, in my opinion. We toned her down in terms of condition, and I think that one can win this class. I think that one's that good, but when it gets that heavy out here, it's starting to work on her front end and skeleton, trying to work on her skeletally. Things are starting to give out here, just getting a little rounder out here. But I think that one, black-headed doe, is awfully good, parts and pieces. I think between these two, it's a build call. I'm going to give up some size. I'm going to get one that's a little fancier up front. Young man, if this one had any more back and just hip in her, I can run with that one all the way, because I think that one from the side can give you such a good look in terms of balance. But man, we need more of her out here. I need those hocks to be a little square out here. Those are the things that I need on her. I think this one's got the size advantage, young lady. You're better in your hind wheels out here, not quite as fancy up in your chest and your lines down your back, but you got more loin, you got a little more rib cage in you. You can definitely work up over that one in this class. These three on down, just maybe get a little piecier, give me more feature, give me a bigger back, give me a little more muscle, a little more width in them, and then we can work them up. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Wade Rohrig, your first place exhibitor. McKenna Volt, second. Wes Rohrig, Spencer Clayton, Carly Hornberger, Lillian Hoifley-Wren, Gracie Krieger, and Lila Struing.
Well, I think another class that presents some challenge in terms of kinds out here, something that you like and maybe something that you want to change. I've got the smallest doe in class up in the top pair, and man, that one's build quality is so wild. When you get on top of her, her body shapes are very good. This one that wins, young man, this one is awfully broody and maternal in her design. That one's good bladed. That one lays in her underline really nice. That one, again, for this particular judge needs to be just a little bit wider, more opened up high for me, but I think she's got enough out here to win this class, and I think she puts the most positives together. That is a giant hind leg, and man, that one moves out here. I think she puts the most positives together. If we could get this one to present just a little neater, time to time, young lady, this one just gets a little piecey for me. This one is more genuine in her shapes, though. She's better. She's the best one, and from this view right here in the whole class, and how wide pin, big loin she is, and she ties in up into a good blade, and that's what I like. That's harder to do, but man, that one is just not one to come together out here in this class. Starting to get a little round off of both ends, and I think, again, just getting her to come together a notch better. There's so much good in that doe, though, out here. I think to talk about these two, they get a little heavier in their chest. They get just a little flatter, a little plainer right there, but I think, again, both of them good in their hind leg out here, big hind legged. This view right here, though, when you talk about just toning her down a little bit, I think that one just needs to be bigger out of her hip and back for me out here. Same thing can be said. This view right here, if we just bust her open, young lady, that one's look from the side can carry her. That one just getting a little heavy, a little plainer right now for me. Up here, I think that's the way I see them. You can switch them up, though. There's some awfully good does out here. We've got two right here that have good pieces, and again, need to make them smoother, make those pieces come together just a little better. Same thing can be said for this doe down here, young man. Nice job feeding her. That one's good in her basic build. Give me more feature. Give me a bigger back. And congratulations to those exhibitors.
Kane Nuri, your first place exhibitor. Macy Seringhouse second. Third, Caden Weiler. Fourth goes to Lucy Krieger. Fifth to Kaylin Wagner. Sixth to Sophie Volts and Jack Struing in seventh. Now we're showing for your 16 to 20-month-old champion.
Well, a very competitive division out here, and we get out here with these four and awfully good females. They all are good-bodied, good underlined, big featured, offer some of those extra things. I think they can get these showmen, close the gap a little sooner as far as making good ones. I think these have all the pieces that a guy needs, and again, you get out here and their differences in terms of rib cage, maybe in terms of shape to their cage, and again, maybe endpoint on what you want to do with them. I think these two class winners, awfully good built, good hind-legged ones out here. I love ones that come out of their cage really round. I like them to be wide out of their pin set and tie in really well out of their hip. Young man, that one's natural presence up front and the way that she holds her blade together and then how she gets out with reach. Step on the front end of her, that's not a narrow chest in that one at all out here, and I love the way she presents. That's a big pin set. I think that one's ideal in terms of condition out here here. I like her an awful lot in this division. To me, she's the hardest to pick a hole in this division out here. This brown doe that we've got out here, I talked about her skeletally at the ground is so good. I need this one to be just a little rounder right here. She gets just a little flatter, a little deeper there for me. I don't rate her to have quite as much right here out of her back. I think she's got a nice pin set in her. I think that's the difference between the two. I like them champion, reserve. Congratulations.
Wade Rohrig is your champion, 16 to 20-month-old, and your homegrown champion. Reserve champion is Kane During, and now we'll show for your reserve champion homegrown.
Well, we get out here in two completely different kinds of does out here. I've got one that's maybe a notch broodier in her kind out here, young lady. And man, I think that one really presents nice. We talked about so many things that this doe has a giant loin, a big hip, and big feet and legs in her. Young lady, I like that one an awful lot. I wish she would present better out here, but I think there's so many good things about her. I like her for reserve out here. Congratulations.
Macy Seringhouse, your reserve champion homegrown.
Well, this class is a perfectly good example of two does that couldn't be farther from different kinds out here, and the one that offers all the extras, feature, back, a hip, and just one that's really out there in terms of cage and width. I like her an awful lot out here to win. I think the one in second, though, a little cleaner in her style. That one really nice up in her blade, young man. I think good necked. From there back, though, just give me a bigger hip, give me a bigger cage and back in her, and I can get around that one. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Your 20 to 24-month champion, Sophie Volts. Reserve champion, Gunnar Carpenter.
well, very competitive division out here. And, again, there's an elephant in the room, and I think the battle's for reserve. There's one out here that just is truly an extraordinary female in this drive. This one is a perfectly good example of one that can motor the best, that has the biggest back, and still manages to be the best looking one. And, young lady, you check all the boxes. That one right there, without a doubt, wins this division. Congratulations to you.
Aubrey Neal, your champion, Percentage Doe Junior.
This is where my entire focus has been, is for reserve out here in this division. And I think, again, that one is very good, that wins. And I think this one is maybe just a notch tighter in terms of kinds. I like this young man's Little Doe out here. That one, I like watching her motor around the ring. Good bladed, good necked, big back in her out here. Maybe not quite as good out of her upper hip, but man, that one's got a big hind leg in her, and I think she presents really well. I like those two out of that division. And again, I think they both keep it close. We talked about this one, Shapes, being a notch better, a notch neater from the side. I like her kind. That big mature doe, I've been rolling her around in my mind out here. I think that one, for an older mature one, presents still really well out here in terms of her kind out here. Bottom line, I think this one's a notch showier in her build and structure. I like that one to be reserved. Congratulations.
Luke Seringhouse is your reserve champion, Junior Doe, and your homegrown champion. Now we'll show for your reserve homegrown.
We get out here for your reserve in this division, and it talked about the does out here. This bigger doe definitely in the running out here for me, and again, I like so many things about that doe. Just her natural presence up front, big hip, big pin set. I like that one to be reserved. Congratulations.
Wade Rohrig, your reserve champion, Junior Doe, homegrown.
Well, we get into these age does, and man, it's going to get tougher because, again, maturity sets in, and just, messing with some age does and stuff, when they still present like that, and they have that kind of front end and neck, and man, that one's just the biggest hip, biggest loined one out here. She's got a giant hind leg. There's so many extras that one offers out here. She's an age doe, so again, you got to be a little more lenient, but there's not another one out here that matches that one's front end, neck, and pin set. I like her an awful lot. I think these two, again, that one's a little better in her build from the side in terms of blade. In terms of hind wheels, this one's got a little more back in her. This one's got a little bit bigger in terms of loin, in terms of cage out here. She needs to be a little fancier up front in her blade design and out of her hip to get around that one, but I think those two match up really well. This doe, again, just getting a little broody out here, and again, she's an age doe. I need her to be bigger featured. I need her to have an extra. She's very complete from the side, but is she the biggest pinned? Is she the biggest backed? Is she the biggest footed? There's not a lot of big things that she's offering for me out here. I think that one's a good complete one out here for me. I think we talk about the next one out here the young man has, and that one really good footed at the ground. Young man, again, got to get her top line to tie in a little neater, give me more extra back and just width in that one, get right on top of her. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Your champion exhibitor, Bentley Ertl. Your reserve champion and champion homegrown, Spencer Clayton. Your reserve champion homegrown, Luke Seringhouse. And in fourth, Colby Bushhorn.
Well, we get out here in this particular drive, and young lady, that one wins, and wins pretty handily for me. That view right there, that one's the big pin, good necked one out here that's really good in her body shapes. Man, that one's got a lot of muscle and still looks like a lady out here. I think that one offers so many things. I think that one as a doe and as a breeder, you can really pivot off that one. Whether you want to make some weathers, you want to make some good does, I think that one's got all the right pieces out here to win. Really good hind leg in that doe out here. I think the next one, though, of the remaining does out here, the one that has size, this one's frame and length of body, still has some power when you get on top of her, though. And again, maybe just not as much my kind. I like them to be just a notch thicker, a notch more out there in terms of muscle design and with the skeleton. I think this one's frame, though, and still has some bulk, young lady. Give me more. If that one had a bigger cage and a bigger back, I could run her up. I like that extra look that she has from the side. I think the next doe that we've got, of the remaining three does, that one's the best built one out here. I need that one to be bigger backed, young man. Let's push boundaries harder with her kind. Make her bigger pinned, and then I can work her up in this class. We've got two does right here. They're good bodied in their center. We talk about them good hind legged. Need them to be fancier off both ends. Make them a little squarer in their edges, out of their hip, and up in their front end, and then I can move them up. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Your champion exhibitor, Nora Whitty. Second, your reserve champion and homegrown champion, Annika Struing. Your reserve champion homegrown, Jack Struing. Fourth place, Eva Struing. And fifth, Will Nuring. Now we'll show for your senior champion.
Well, we get out here in this division, and these two class winners just push boundaries harder, whether it's feature and neck or it's body shapes and back and hip. And I've got two second-place does that offer up good pieces. Whether you want some size, whether you need one that's just got some really good rib cage in her out there. And I think, again, just talking about the ones that provide the most totals out here, these two do it best out of each of those classes. I think the one that's fresher, when we talk about just condition and muscling and how she blends down her top line, I like this one an awful lot, young lady. I think that one's still good necked and good bladed out here. I think the one the young man's got, and that one has all the size and look and extension, and again, needing her to be a little better out of her hip in comparison to that doe. I need her to be just a little bit bigger out of her blade in terms of cage in relation to that doe. I think that one just has a few more extras out here. I like them champion reserve. Congratulations.
Norland Whitty is your champion. Senior doe, your reserve champion, Bentley Ertl. Now we'll leave our homegrowns in for your homegrown champion and reserve champion.
Well, we get out here for the reserve selection, and again, two does that were second on each side, and then talking about her frame size and look, and then one that's maybe a notch wilder in her center body. I think that one, to me, just is a notch more my kind, young man. I like that one's just extra muscle that she has. I think that one's really broody, young lady, and good looking. I like that one to be reserved.
Wait, we need to bring in two more. Okay, he picked the first. That's fine. Okay, your champion homegrown is Annika Struing, senior doe, and your reserve champion is Spencer Clayton.
We want to keep things moving along, and what a great show we've had thus far. So many good does out here that represent real quality. And again, I know what I need out here. I know what I need in terms of body balance and build, and find the ones that push boundaries. That later or older set of does that came out, I think that one was the best built one with the biggest back, young lady. I think that one really stayed fresh out of those older does. We talked about what that reserve can offer out here. I think those two are awfully good. I think we get out of that younger division, and man, we had a doe that just walks away with that deal. And man, she gets out here, young lady, and I still like her just as much. I think she still walks away with it out here in this division. I think that one is that good out here in this drive. I think reserve is where we got to find the decision between that bigger doe and that younger one out here. Man, I like the way that younger one motors around the ring. And again, I think that older doe is very nice. We're going to go champion reserve. Congratulations.
Aubrey Neal's your champion. Luke Seringhouse, your reserve champion. He's also your champion homegrown percentage, and we need to pick a homegrown reserve.
Gentlemen, very nice set of females out here. Both of them good-footed at the ground. Both of them I love center body and cage. There's one that's a little fancier in her blade and a little bigger in her pin set out here. I like that one to be reserved. Congratulations.
Wade Rohrig is your reserve champion, homegrown.
Well, young man, I can't think of a better way to lead off the full-blood division on a really young doe that really grabs you hard in terms of her front-end design and neck, and then that one's really good out of her body shapes. Congratulations to you.
Kane Rohrig is your champion, full-blood, 3 to 6 month.
Well, they come out of the gate, and both of them have such giant feature, big feet, and on them, and a really good pin set in them. There's one that just holds her neck and blade together better, and man, that one, young man, is really good, especially out of her back. That one's got a little better loin in her, and I think that one just holds her lines together neater out here. I think this young man gets out here, and again, I need this one to tie into her blade a little better. I need this one to be a little better, just talking about her pin set in relation to that one, but I think both of them awfully good does out here. Congratulations.
Kane Nuring is your champion exhibitor, 6 to 9 month, and your reserve champion, Bentley Ertl.
Well, I'll tell you what, young lady that leads off this particular drive takes about 2 steps. That one walks in, and that one's that one's good neck, big back, big pin set. Wow, that one's ring presence. You don't even have to know anything about livestock to like that one's look from the side out here, and that one really touches good, fresh, attractive. She wins. I think then these three is where the battle's at. The one that looks most like her in terms of just size and frame and bulk, this one, she's not as fancy up in her blade, not quite as fancy out of her hip, but man, I think that one's good to lead off, to be second behind that one out here in this class. Between 3 and 4, I'm going to take the one that's got more rib cage, more bulk. Young lady, this one's a little better built from the side. You're a little longer out of your hip, you're a little sleeker in your neck, just maybe not as much of you, not as much rib cage, not as much back. I think that's a trade-off. What you want to do, I wouldn't argue with you one bit on those two. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Callie Kummer is your champion exhibitor, Gracie Krieger reserve champion, Bentley Ertl 3rd, and Norland Whitty 4th.
Well, we got a single entry doe out here, young man, and I like a lot of things about that female. Very good in terms of condition. I think that one holds her top line together for as much bulk and mass that one has. Gives you a real pretty look from the side. Congratulations to you.
Caden Wheeler is your champion exhibitor in 20 to 24 months.
Well, we get out here in the full-blood division, and just so many good does out here. We get two that really jump out at me. Young man had two really good lightweight does out here. Young man comes out on the one that I would definitely, that one is the rugged one out here within the drive. There's not another one that matches that one in terms of feature, in terms of back when you get on top of her. Is she the fanciest one from the side in terms of her blade, and the one, though, that ties in the neatest from the side? That's that doe right there. In terms of look, in terms of balance, man, that thing's blade just runs so good uphill. She's not as big backed. She's a full blood though out here, and the way that one presents as a full blood, and her lines and how attractive she is out going around, she's not as big footed as the one in front of her. I think you got to make the call as a judge. What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up a little bit of feature and mass to get the build you need, or do you want to give up a little bit of lines to get that rugged one that's just a notch bigger backed out here? I like them both. They both represent quality. I think they're both just a notch.
Cali Comer champion. Kane Nuring is reserve champion. And Kane is a homegrown reserve champion.
we get out here for your reserve and born and raised. I think that, again, that young man had one that was really broody, really massive out here. I think as we step into the show ring, which one's a little neater in her lines and has some mass? Young man, I like that younger doe that she had an awful lot. I like her to be reserve in this division. Congratulations.
Kane Nuring's your reserve champion, homegrown percentage junior doe.
Well, we're going to leave them how they are as they come out. And again, it's that call you have to make. We got one that's maybe got a notch more in terms of her center body and cage. And then we've got one that off both ends of her body and skeleton is fancier in her build and fancier out of her hip. I think that's the call you got to make. I'm willing to give up a little bit to get all that extra, especially as we step into the show ring out here. We're going to use them in first and second in this division. Congratulations. Well, you got ones and twos in some of these classes, and so again, if you know what you need as a judge, and you stay committed to the things that you stand for in every class as we get out here, which one has the extras? So which one's bigger footed? Which one's bigger back, bigger pinned, and still holds herself together well in her lines? To me, young man, that one checks more boxes out here. Things that I like as a female. I think she's just got a bit more out here in terms of width and mass. I know these are age does, and again, I think this one from the side has so many good things. And again, you've got to find your line as a judge. This one does need more in terms of mass, in terms of feature. And at the ground, there's too many things for me that she needs to be by that one out here. Congratulations to both those exhibitors.
Spencer Clayton, your champion, and your reserve champion to Kane Nuring.
Well, each class has its essence, and you know, again, as a judge, you've got to figure out what's in front of you. Judge what's in front of you always, and we had that class right there. And again, to get the one that was the right ring presence and look and balance, we had to give up a little bit of muscle out here to get that. And then in this class, you know, again, we had one that was a little more up and out. This one has all the feature and back and all those extra things, and so that's what was presented in that class out here. We get out of the division, and again, if we want to win our division, we've still got to keep pushing the boundaries. Again, I like that one's feature. I like that one's added presence, young man. I think that one's a notch more rugged and ideal. I think there's more of her out here, still good looking. I like them. Champion, reserve, congratulations.
Spencer Clayton is your champion exhibitor. Callie Comer, your reserve champion.
What an exceptional full-blood division out here, and you know, again, just talking about the look and balance that they offer, with so many good pieces as females that are going to go back and do well for these showmen. Man, the quality has been so good thus far out here. You know, young lady that comes out of that earlier class, and again, that one for me to be, she was champion in her division. We get out here for the final in the full-blood. I think that one just has so many things to offer in terms of lines, in terms of balance. And I love her size out here. She's big pin. When you watch them motor around the ring, there wasn't another full-blood that had that kind of ring presence, that kind of pin set out here, and I think she offers so many things. I think we get into reserve in this division, and in talking about that young man, said that one had so many good things as a full-blood, how big-backed and rugged. I think we got two that are very similar for reserve in terms of kinds out here. Both of them a notch thicker, a notch deeper from the side, and so again, just what you want to do with those two out here. Man, I like the way those two fit together. Champion, reserve, congratulations.
Callie Comer is your champion full-blood. Your reserve champion full-blood is Kane Nuring. Kane is also your champion homegrown. And reserve because he's the only other one left. Now we're showing your junior champion against your senior champion for grand champion meet goat doe.
What an incredible set of females. I can't help but smile and just, man, these things are good in terms of balance, lines, and the bar that they set, how high that is out here. We've got two reserves in those divisions that had so many good things to offer. And then we've got two that I think represent totals out of each of those divisions. And man, I think both of them can play on a pretty big stage. And young lady, I think that's, as a judge, always know where you're at. And I think that one needs to be on a bigger stage. I think both of them are good looking. That one, when you get in behind her up front, that one is so wide, good bladed, so feminine, and yet still manages to be so big backed. And how you do that and put that together is very hard to do. As a breeder, man, I truly appreciate how good that one is out here. I think that one keeps it close though, in terms of look and balance. Man, if that one had a little more back and hip in her out here, we could make that a little tighter. I like them though. Champion reserve, congratulations.
Aubrey Neal is your grand champion meet goat doe, and your reserve grand champion is Callie Comer.
Well, we get out here, champion and reserve in the born and raised part of the show. I think, again, this doe right here just really has so much feature and mass. I think these two are very similar in terms of kind. This one's maybe got a little extra to honor in terms of feature, in terms of back out here. I like these two, champion, reserve. Congratulations.
Kane Nuring's your homegrown grand champion. And Luke Seringhouse is your reserve grand champion homegrown. While they're getting their meat goat herds ready, we'll let the royalty introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Louis Derringer, and I'm this year's 4-H Fair King.
Hi, I'm Olivia Neal, and I'm this year's 4-H Fair Queen.
Hi, my name is Michaela Cowler. I am the 2022 Miss Ripley County second runner-up.
Hi, I'm Emily Knieven. I am Miss Congeniality and third runner-up of Miss Ripley 2022.
Hi, I'm Carly Bushhorn, and I am Miss Ripley County 2022.
Hi, my name is Paisley Bennett, and I'm Miss Ripley County first runner-up. Hi, my name's Andy, and I'm Ripley County Queen.
Perfect.
A really good female show, and again, folks down ringside, if you would, put your hands together for all these exhibitors out here thus far. Have done a really good job. I know that maybe we may move through them maybe just a notch quicker than some. I know that I know what I need when they walk in. I know we don't know each other very well. Trust me when I tell you I'm very confident. I do travel the country and judge anywhere from 1,000 to 50 head show, depending on what it is, full bloods, percentages, whatever you want to do. And so state and national shows, I'm pretty comfortable in my own skin about what I need. And you know, again, input costs are the highest they've ever been. And you again, the amount of money that we're putting into this project to go to shows to make these things is the most expensive it's ever been. That creates a bigger need to win. That creates a bigger need to justify what we're doing at home. Don't let that cloud your judgment. We're at the county fair right now. I'm trying to find does that present the best, that have the biggest back, that are the best looking ones. There were lots of parts and pieces in a lot of those classes. And again, if you have discrepancy on what you liked or what you didn't like, and again, I wouldn't offer any argument up. I'm pretty comfortable on what I need out here, though, in this division. So please don't take offense to it. It's just the way I'm wired, the way I'm trained out here. I mean, no offense. They take 2 steps in, I'm either in or out on that one's kind. And so you have to be if you judge bigger shows. And so, again, I like a lot of things about a lot of these does. I think this is a tremendously good representation of quality out here. I think we have several that come together. I think we've got this group that matches up really well, and we've got this group right here that I think offers so much quality out here in this drive. For me, man, I like these an awful lot. We're going to go champion and then reserve on them. Congratulations.
Kane Nuring and Luke Serinaus.
Well, 2 really good does out here. I think, again, a lot of frame size, a lot of balance in them. I think they both represent really good quality. Again, very congratulations to you 2 ladies.
Hanukkah Strewing is your champion exhibitor on Product of Dam. Next into the arena, we'll have mother-daughter. And then once we get mother and daughter done, we're going to take about a 10-minute break.
Well, we get out here, and mother-daughter division, I believe, is the name of the game out here, and I love this division. I love what it teaches. I think this one is maybe one of the most valuable divisions that you don't start seeing a lot less of out there. I think this is the best teacher of, can we make them better the next generation, what we can do. This teaches so many things as far as breeding them, teaches so many things as far as growing them out and just understanding the beast. And so I think, again, we get out here and try to find the ones that put together so many good things. Are we just picking one in this division? Just one in this division. Well, I like these two an awful lot. They're going to be champion in this division. Congratulations.
Okay, Noreen is your champion meat goat mother-daughter pair. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
Well, as we kick off our market division, and again, just talking about, in the doe division, maybe things that you need as females. Obviously, muscle is a priority when we talk about market livestock. But, we're still on the show ring, so look, lines, presence, and balance are still come into effect out here. And so where we ride that line, muscle in relation to build and what you're willing to give up, that's always a discrepancy out here. That's a good way to start off, young lady, with a good-looking one that still manages to be the biggest backed. You get on top of her, that one handles really good out of her loin. She's big-hipped. I like that one from behind. I think that one puts together the most totals out here. These two right here, though, awfully good. And talking about just how green they are. They both need more time on the feed bucket. Keep rolling to them. That one's a little bigger footed. And talking about that guy's a little nicer loin than the one in second. Great class. Congratulations.
Your first place exhibitor in Class 1, Lila Struing, Peyton Simon in second, and Emma Peets in third.
Well, I like this class. This is awfully good, and I think these top two right here is just a matter of maybe where I'm going to stand throughout the day. I think you talk about the one that's still bigger chested, wider chested up front. Man, that guy's got a big turn to his rib cage. He's got a big little meaty loin in him, young lady, and a big hip out here. I think that guy's got so much muscle and yet still has some presence from the side. Man, I like the way he matches up out here. Good touching out here. This guy's a little better in his hind wheels. I like that about him. He's really shallow, really tall fronted. The sheep guy in me likes that one a lot. I need that guy to be a little bold right here out of his shoulder blade. I need a little bigger loin in him. That's what I like about the one in front of you, but I think that guy's got good lines, good presence out here. I think between these two, it's a matter of build, and this is what I talked about in the first class. What are you willing to give up in some spots to get? I'm going to give up some muscle, but I'm going to get one that's better built, young lady. That one's better skeleton, and I still think that one's got enough muscle to work his way up past some of these others out here. This doe's got a little more muscle than the one in front of you, buddy. I mean, talk about this guy, though, just to be a little flatter, a little plainer off both ends, but man, there is a little bit more back in there on that doe. We've got three goats out here that need more time on the feed bucket. I mean, you get your hands on them, they're all green. They all are a little skinnier backed out here, and again, just keep feeding on them, keep pushing on them, and they'll keep getting better as you go. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Annika Struing, your first place exhibitor. Second to Spencer Clayton, then Carly Hornberger, Ethan Kirk, Brooklyn Simon, Jocelyn Allen, and Emma Hoffley.
Well, as you watch each one of these come out of the gate and just studying market livestock, which one has the chest, the bone, the forearm, the loin, and pin set? That guy right there, there's not another one out here that matches him, young man, in terms of hip, in terms of loin. This region right here, he really capitalizes out here. And you get off to the side of him, though, and he still manages to be good necked, good balance out here. I like him to win. What's the other one that looks like him from the side that has ring presence? Young lady, I like it when you get into him and get a good drive on that guy. I think you get on top of him, though, and again, that guy needs to be a little bigger loin, a little bigger hip in him, but he's the other one that I can tie into that has some muscle, that keeps all those lines and look and style that we need in the show ring. I think we get into these two right here, and again, I'm going to give up a little bit of size and feature, but trust me when I tell you, that one's got a bigger hip and loin in him out here, a little bigger chested. Not as much feature, though. You can definitely justify working that guy up. Nice job getting them legs worked up, buddy. I think that guy's got bigger feature. He's maybe a notch just a little bit plainer right here in the shape to his cage and his hip and stifle. Just need bigger britches in that guy, and then I can work him up in this class. I think that's the difference between those two. We didn't need more time on the feed bucket. I get on top of them. We need more fat. We need more finish. Keep pushing on those two as you go. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Your first place exhibitor, Luke Seringhouse, Laura Moster second, then Hunter Meyer, Kaylin Wagner, Hudson Lauber, and Madison Barnhill.
Well, we get out here in this particular drive and, just trying to keep muscle a focus, trying to keep shape and power and width and looks and lines. There's a lot of discrepancy in this class. You can be sitting 4 and 5 and think that you need to be up 2 and 3 in this class, and you're not going to hear much argument out of me. I think there's good things that I like about each one of them, things that I need out of market livestock. When we talk about touch, width, and power and all those things, when we put them together, these two I can get to put together the most positives. The one that wins, young lady, that's the best heighted one. That's the best loin. That's the biggest hipped one out here. And man, I can get that guy to come together with some lines and look. I like him an awful lot from that standpoint. I think this guy's got a little bit bigger back in him, young lady, than the one in second. That guy presents himself a little neater. I think he's got enough to be up in the top 2 in this class. But again, give me more if we're going to get around that one that wins. But I like those two up on the top end. Young lady, I think this one, if we had just a little bit better hip on that guy and a little more style, I could run him up. Give me just a little more feature and I can run him up. Again, there's just a couple more things I need out of him to get him up in this class. But those three, I think, are awfully good. We get three right here that all have different pieces. We got a big-footed one, we got one that's good-necked, and we got one that's maybe got a little bit of size on these two out here. Again, build quality, touch, and give me more muscle. Give me a bigger back, give me more loin, give me more bone. Those are the things I need to move them up. I don't care which way you slice these three. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Macy Searinghouse, your first place exhibitor. Hunter Meyer in second. And then Jaden Harrington, Callie Kirk, Jackson McAdams, and Sophie Lauber.
Well, I think every class has its essence, and you just understand it as a judge, that judge what's in front of you, and as they come in the ring, we've got four out here that we talk about. All of them maybe need to be just a notch better in terms of lines. That's not the name of the game in this class. The name of the game in this class is find the one that has muscle out here, the one that's the best touching, best hipped one, and that one, young man, checks a lot of boxes in this class. He's the biggest back, biggest hip, best touching, best heighted one, that's biggest chested out here. There's a lot of things he does, market livestock, that are very good out here. The other one that's got a good loin in him, the other one that's good pipped, if we could give this guy just a better shape in his cage and right out of his shoulder blade and give him just a little more feature out here, man, I could run him up a little bit higher in this class. We could give that one more of a run. I think that's the other one, though, that reads good muscling down his back. We've got two right here, and again, they handle right. They have some freshness to them. We got to push boundaries with them harder, though. Give me a bigger back, give me more feature, give me a bigger cage in them, and then we can sort them up. Congratulations, those exhibitors.
Nicholas Voss, your first place exhibitor. Rachel Myers second. Colton Carpenter third, and Sarah Meyer in fourth.
Boy, there's another class that keeps coming out, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I really mean it. There's a lot of discrepancy. In this bottom three, there's some good pieces that you want to rearrange. You'll argue that one every day of the week. That one is biggest back, biggest hip, biggest forearm one. That's the best looking one up in his neck and blade. That one, he wins this class. Muscle, look, all the things I need. I think the other one that I can get to match him out here in this class that comes close to him in terms of back and handle and freshness, this black cape deal that we got here in second, I think rivals him there. Again, give me more, young lady, a bigger hip, and that guy out here in this class. We got two right here that maybe just get a little plainer from the side. They get a little deeper in their blade. Maybe give me a bigger britches in these guys. Give me a little bit bigger chest and bigger forearm. I think that one's got a little better loin in her than the one that's next and behind her. I think, again, though, we got to push boundaries harder with those two if we're going to get around that one that wins out here. I think then we've got two that in this class, and man, they have all the size, all the length of body that you need, and you can run that up. I need to match that length of body and size with more mass, more power, and then they can balance better. Congratulations to all those exhibitors.
Maya Wren, your first place exhibitor. Second place to Elena Dickman. And then we have Eli Lamping, Will Nuring, Spencer Clayton, and Brantley Weber. Now we're going to show for your champion lightweight.
Well, we get out here in our first division, and man, what a heck of a set of lightweights out here, and I like getting the seconds out. They always ask, and I always say, if we can do it, let's do it. Let's get them out here, because I'll be honest with you, sometimes you're battling out the grand drive in class. Sometimes all those ones, you'll get a top three in a class that could be the best three in the show, all land in the same class. And so I always like to bring the seconds out. I always like to give that recognition that I think that they deserve to be back out here in the ring. Those are some big classes, and some of them were tough classes, and so to be back out here to get some recognition for your hard work, man, I think you need it out here. We got a weather out here that, to me, that hits me the hardest. Why? His body shapes. He's round-bodied, he's big pin, his balance is so good. There's not another one out here that matches this guy's back shape, hip, and loin out here. He's small. This is the lightweights. None of these are ready. They all need more time out here, and man, that guy is a chunk, young lady, but still good neck, good balance out here. I like that one to be champion in this division. Congratulations.
Hanukkah Strewing is your lightweight champion exhibitor.
that guy wins this division because there's not another one out here that beats him in his rib cage and it gets more exotic than that one out here. He needs to be a notch better in his hind wheels. That's a common theme right now in the goat industry, and so I've had to learn to be just a notch more lenient on that. Across the board, across the country, feet and wheels under these things has been a little wishy-washy, and so man, to get all those other things that I need, I'm willing to give up a little bit of hind leg to get the rest out there. I think that guy does a really good job. I think we get that second place out here in that class, and man, I like that guy an awful lot, young man. I think he's big pinned, I think he's big footed, and that guy really gives you a nice look from the side. This young man brings me one out that has a really big pin set. We talked about things that maybe we need to do different with him, but I think that guy can give you a good look too. Young lady down here on the end, that is a big pinned one, young lady, and good necked out here. I think that guy handles with such a big back and loin and still presents out here. I like him second best. He's going to be reserved. Congratulations.
Maya Wren exhibits your reserve champion. Now we'll show for your homegrown champion in reserve.
Well, we're going to keep things moving along. And young man that's in front of me here to win the born and raised division, young man, I think definitely that guy can. I needed more cage. I needed a bigger, more shape out of that guy's shoulder blade. And I think, again, I think he's got plenty, though, there to win this part of the show. He's going to be champion in the born and raised. Congratulations.
Luke Seringhouse is your homegrown champion.
We get out here for reserve, and I think it gets down between these two, just the ones that have muscle, that have shape when you get on top of them. I think that one, young lady, balances a little better than the young man's here. That one's going to be reserve out here. Congratulations.
Macy Seringhouse exhibits your reserve champion homegrown.
Well, this is another really good class out here. We've got 4 that battle it out really well. This view right here, get them on the 3/4 and study just width of cage, shape of cage, and loin and hip. That one that wins is the best chested, best hipped one out here that touches with the biggest loin, and one, though, that I think just represents the most quality of muscle and touch out here to win. I think this one the young man's got from this view right here, buddy, that one's my favorite one. I think that guy is really shallow, his lines holding him. If we had any bigger hip, if I had just a little bit bigger loin, if I had just any more muscle in that guy, I could run him up, because that's the look I need from the side. I think he balances well, but man, got to give me more muscle, bigger britches in that guy. I think we talk about these 2 out here, and again, just needing a little bit more chest in them. They both really do a nice job presenting from the side. That guy's got good lines, need more muscle in him. Young lady, that one, skin and hair, is really nice on that one. Presentation's very good out here. Just make that one a little better in her lines and give me more muscle. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
McKenna Volts is your first place exhibitor, Jack Struing second, Eva Struing, and then Bristol Landwehr.
Boy, there's a lot of discussion. Man, you could really present an argument to switch some of these up, and I did. I switched those 2, and again, they need to be switched. I think that one better built out here than though that one's behind you. And then we move up, we get bigger backed, a little bigger hipped out here. That one that wins, though, young lady, that one wins pretty handily for me. That one is up and out in his front end and chest. Really good in terms of how he blends down his top line. That's the biggest loin, hardest, freshest touching one that's really big pinned out here. He wins. I think the one that follows suit, what's the other one that's good looking, good skin and hair, and balances? That one, young lady, has a big hip and man, we just need a bigger rib cage. Bust her open here, give me a bigger chest right there, and we can get around that one out here. I think those 2 match up really nice. We get out here, and that one's skin and hair, young man. Presentation on that one is better out here. Young lady, that one has such a bigger loin and a bigger back in him out here. I'm going to make a call of muscle. And again, I need him to be fancier built out here and better heighted, but I think that guy, just when we talk about market livestock, that guy has got more to him. Young man, if this guy just had any more back, any more hip in him, I could run that one up pretty far in this class. I love his lines out here. Just give me more. I need a bit wider skeleton, more muscle in him out here. These 2 right here, just get a little deeper from the side. Let's make them a little fancier in their build, and then we can move them up in this class. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Callie Kummer, your first place exhibitor. Macy Seringhouse second. And then we have Lucy Krieger, Jack Struing, Aiden Snyder, and Shane McAdams.
Well, I think an awfully good class. I think each one has their place, and I'm going to let my hands do the talking, and that's what's going to let that one win out here. Which one spans your hand, the biggest backed, hardest touching one that's got the most shape out of the back side of his shoulder? He's the biggest out of his stifle and hip. When you get right in behind him, that guy right there, good necked, big backed out here, he wins this class for me. I think the other one, though, that has a nice look about her from the side, young lady, I like your doe. I think she balances well. Skeletal correctness, man, that one's hind legs a little better than the young man's weather out here. We get my hands on this one though, and I just need a more shape right out of that shoulder blade. Give me a little bit bigger stifle in her, and then we can get around that weather out here. You're a little better in your build out here in that one in second. Young lady, you got in a tough class. Those two in front of you are awfully good. I think you done a nice job feeding on him. Just needing to be wider, bigger backed out here. Congratulations.
Spencer Clayton is your first place exhibitor, Kirsten Lures in second, and Michaela Hilton Beidel in third.
Well, that's a tough class out here. That one right there, young lady, is a big-legged creature that gets out and moves with so much ring presence. Big back, big hip in that one. Man, you can talk all day about that one's build quality and muscle and just balance out here. That one has all the extras. Man, black-caped one, I like that one to win. This one right here, get in behind these two. That's what sorts them right here. This one's better chested, better backed, bigger hipped out here. More muscle in that one. I read her to be a notch more genuine, wider all the way to the ground. This one's a little taller fronted though. This one right here is presents a little neater from the side. You can make the call. I'm gonna give up some look to get the muscle I need. But man, this one had a little bigger loin and just a little bit more shape right here, young man. I can run that one up. I think that one's got the size and look I need. I need more gas though, and that one's rib cage and back out here. We get in these two right here though, and it's a matter of just bulk. I think that guy has got bigger britches. I think again we get on top of them though, and just give me a little bit more shape. Give me more shape right here out of that back. As we get on top of them, I need this to be bigger right here, young lady. Let's work on just making that one better footed at the ground. Young man, this one needs more time on the feed bucket. I handle that one's back. Still green, still a little raw out here in this class. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Annika Struing is your first place exhibitor. Luke Seringhouse in second. Then we have Luke Seringhouse, Annika Struing, Michaela Hildenbeidel, and Wade Landwehr.
Man, this is a tough call. As a judge, man, there's a few in here that I wish that they had more muscle because they're really good built from the side. And then, again, we've got one that wins. And, man, that guy gets a little deep in loin. And so what you got to give up as a judge, I'm going to give up a little bit of build to get that body shape and hip that I need out here. And we talk about market livestock. These two right here, this guy in second's a heartbreaker for me, young lady. He might be the narrowest backed one in class. When we talk about just muscle and width, I need more of him out here. If he had any more hip, I could justify working him up to win this class. He's the right kind from the side. But man, there's just not enough muscle in that guy out here. And I think same thing can be said for this one out here. I get my hands on him and I need more loin. I need more cage. I need more muscle in that guy out here. And again, I think the call you got to make as a judge, we talk about market livestock here. I'm going to stand for back and hip out here when we talk about those. I think these two right here just get a little deep from the side, ladies. They get just a little rounder off of both ends. I think they got good muscling. We need to make them a little fancier, a little better build out here. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Carly Hornberger, your first place exhibitor. Kirsten Lures in second. Then we have Wade Rohrig, Sophie Volz, and Lucy Krieger. Now we'll show for your champion medium weight.
Well, we get out here in this division, and man, we got a lot of good class winners. Tried to stand for some that had feature forearm and chest and back shape and hip in them out here, and there's going to be some differences in terms of build quality out here, but I think they line up really well. We've got some good seconds along the sidelines, and I think this division's a perfectly good example of why I like bringing the seconds out, because, man, I've got a doe right here, young lady, that Black Cape doe. There is not another one out here that has that kind of feature and ring presence that handles with that one's back. She's the best looking one with the biggest back. Man, when you do that, it's hard to get around you. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game out here, and I think, man, that one's awfully good. She's going to be champion in this division. Congratulations.
Monica Struing exhibits your medium weight champion.
We get out here for a reserve, and we bring that young man second place up, and buddy, that one holds her own amongst the rest of these firsts out here. I like her an awful lot. That one's level hipped. That one's got a giant back in her out here. We talked about her needing a couple of those extra things to get around that Black Cape doe out here, but I like her an awful lot. I think she keeps it close between this Black Cape weather out here, and we talked about his build needing to be a little better, but man, he's got a big hip. He's touches good out here. Young lady, this one, we get him out here. I was interested to see if he'd have enough chest and cage and just feature out here. I like his loin. I like how fresh he is. I like how he touches out here. I'm going to keep those two together. That one's going to be reserved. Congratulations.
Luke Saringhouse exhibits your reserve champion, and that is your homegrown champion. Now we'll keep our homegrowns in to show for reserve homegrown.
We get out here for your reserve in the homegrown division. So we just have one left to pick, right? Okay. Even though we have seconds, I was just trying. I was confused. We're good though, okay? Out here, I think, young lady, we talked about that guy just right here in his cage and back, right out of his shoulder blade. Did he have enough feature? I think out here in this division, though, he's the one that I've got left that has loin and hip. I like him best out here. He's going to be reserved. Congratulations.
Callie Cummer exhibits your reserve champion homegrown.
Well, we get out here in this class, young lady's having a little bit of a tough time getting that weather to go together. Young lady, I urge you to calm down, and he'll probably calm down a little bit. Touching that guy, he's getting warm, okay? So make sure we stay hydrated and make sure we keep that guy cool. You don't have to raise him up high and drive him so hard if he's fighting you like that. We got to get him assembled a little different. I like him a lot. That guy touches good. He runs uphill. He's got a big back in him out here. We got to get that one under control, get him to calm down out here. We talk about this one right here, though, big back, big hip, and this guy, young man, and I think this view right here, really like him out here in this class. We get him off to the side, need him to be just a notch fancier, bigger footed out here. I think that guy, though, really follows suit, another big backed one out here. I think between the two, though, and I'm going to leave them how they are. I know that one's got just more size and bulk. I'm going to give up a little bit to get a better build in one. I think he's got enough to be third in this class. I like his look and style a little bit better when we step into the show ring. Young lady, just make that one a little fancier. He can go up, though, ahead of him. There's a little more there in terms of bulk. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Your first place exhibitor, Aubrey Neo. Brooks Hanson in second, Sarah Meyer third, and Rachel Meyer in fourth.
Well, we got a really good class right here. Young lady, you can keep bringing me ones that look like that out here. That is a big-footed, athletic creature that just handles so good. Man, that guy's build reads next level out here. Man, I like his kind an awful lot. That one's really good out here. I think we got another one, though, that rivals him in terms of mass and bulk. Get in behind him, and I think that one's big pin. Good loined out here. Step off to the side of him, though. That one needs to be a little fancier, a little bigger footed. Let's make that guy just a notch neater in his shoulder blade, but I like those two an awful lot out here in this class. The next one that we've got, of the remaining three, this one's the bigger boned, bigger hipped, bigger backed one of the remaining three that we have left out here. We need to make that one a little fancier, buddy, off both ends, and then I can get that one up higher in this class. We talk about two goats, so you guys have done a nice job feeding on them, not too fat, they handle right. Give me more muscle, give me a little more bone. Let's make them just a notch fancier from the side. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Well, I think these two up on the top end battle it out really well. I think, again, we've got one in second that's a little better hipped. We got one in first that's a little better fronted. And I think you got to make the call as a judge. And I think that one's good enough in her hip. And I like that one's high quality skin and hair and how she ties in out of her blade. To me, she opens up quite a bit squarer and wider right here out of her shoulder. She's got a big loin in her, and I think that one really presents well from the side. If we could get this one to tie in a little neater, a little fresher, when we get our hands on her, I like her quite a bit better right here, buddy. I think that she's better hip, though, than the one in front of you. And again, I just need to clean that one up in her blade and chest and make her a little better out of her shoulder. But I think there's so many good things about that one out here. We've got two does, and again, these two battle it out really well in this class. And I think the one that looks most like the two in front of her, and that one right there, young man, that whether, again, if we could just give me a little more power, give me more genuine muscle and shape in that guy's loin. I need a little more to him out here, but I think he's got enough to get around this guy. As we get out here, though, and again, I think this guy's a little fatter in his back, a little better in his finish right now. And again, we just need to make him bigger footed, a little wider chested out here. Give me just a notch more muscle. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Sophie Rolls is your first place exhibitor. Second to Wade Rohrig. Third, Carson Hornberger. And fourth, Noah Hilton Beidel.
Man, this is a tough class. I think we talk about some weathers that maybe maturity is starting to set in their front end and chest and just freshness when you get on top. And I think if a guy wanted to line these up a little different on these 4 or 5 and all of them in this class, man, I wouldn't argue with you one bit. There's a lot of pieces out here in this class. The one that I can grab a hold of that gives me a good look from the side in terms of blade, in terms of balance, the one that I can get the biggest loin out of in class, and with touching that guy, I think he puts the most positives together. For me as a judge, what I read in Market Livestock, I think that guy's got good muscle in him. I think if this one had any more loin and any more hip, I could run him up. Young lady, you're better right out of the backside of your shoulder than that one out here. Not quite as big at the ground. If we could just get him bigger here, I can use you to win this class. Out here, done a nice job feeding him though out here. I think that guy's ideal in terms of finish. I think the next one that we've got, and it's a matter of build. These two have a little bit more bulk than this guy. He's a little better built, young lady. I'm going to give up some muscle in this situation to get the better built one. Give me more muscle on him, combine with that build, and then we can win this class out here. And these two guys, we get out, and the maturity is starting to set in a little bit, fellas. I think if we'd have seen these guys maybe a little bit sooner, a couple, 3 weeks ago, I think then I'd have liked them a lot better. But again, I think maturity is starting to roll on our front end, and touch is starting to leave them a little bit. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Wade Rohrig is your first place exhibitor. Gracie Krieger second. Then we have Kirsten Lures, Noah Hilton Beidel, and Will Nuring.
Man, there's a lot of discussion in this class too, and again, differences in maturity. Everybody's about the same. When we talk about muscle in them and studying them, builds are all completely different though, and so I think it comes down to maybe more proportionality and balance in this class for me out here. I think that guy, best skeleton one, best moving one out here that has enough muscle. To me, he's the freshest when I get my hands on him. That's a good touch, buddy. That's a good loin. That's a good shape out of that guy's shoulder, and again, he touches back with some freshness out here. That's the only one I can get to do that in this class, and so we talk about him out here, build and those things, that surfaces for me. I think he balances well. If we could get this guy just a little cleaner up front and a little better out of his hip, I can run him up. That one's a little better footed. I love this guy's loin. He is the best loined one in class out here. He just gets a little softer right out of his blade, and man, we just need to be a little square, but I do like him an awful lot, young man, out here. I think the next one, this one might be the widest chested one in class, but we talk about maybe the narrowest loined and backed out here, and so again, that provides a little bit of challenge, young man, and again, I think that guy gives you a nice feed and look, but give me more real muscle in that guy, and then I can run him up in class. Young man, I think this one we talk about is probably the best built one up front in class, and the way he's assembled up, young lady, I'm very sorry, young lady, up through the front end of that neck. We get on top of this one though, he just fades a little more. Let's bust him open in his hip, let's make him a little bigger in his back, and then I can run him up. That one's ideal up front in the way he's built. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
West Roaring, your first place exhibitor. Blake Wagner, second. Third, Caden Wheeler and Norlin Whitty. Now we're showing for your heavyweight champion.
Well, we're going to keep things moving along, and I think a very competitive show out here. We get into these heavyweights, and the name of the game is always management in the heavyweights, always. And again, we get into these last three classes, and the name of the game was to find the ones that stayed fresh, that could still hold their lines together, and maybe we had to give up just a little bit of bulk to get that out here, and I think that those classes were awfully competitive. This young lady comes out with a weather, though, that is so athletic and good looking. That guy can motor around the ring, and man, young lady, that guy's back shape. There is is not another one in the entire show we've handled that matches that one's ditch down his back and how big pinned he is. He presents when he wants to. Man, that guy can give you the best look. You know, there's just not many built like him out here. I love how good that one is up in his design. And I like your other one, young lady. I think they both follow each other. And, you know, again, I know that we've been working hard and you guys have been putting in a lot of effort. That guy that did the gator spin right here up on front, man, that's the other one that's really clubby, big-legged, good-looking, that touches fresh. They match each other very well out here, and I will never put a showman down. If they've got the best two, they will have the best two. Champion, reserve, congratulations.
Aubrey Neal exhibits your champion and your reserve champion. Now we'll keep our homegrowns in to show for your champion and reserve champion homegrown.
Well, I believe those two young ladies have a champion and a reserve that they need to award out here. And so, again, when we're talking about the homegrown division out here, that young man's got a doe that's really good in terms of back and muscle out here. I like that one to win the born and raised on this division. To you, young man, congratulations. And I think we get out here, and the other one that hits me awfully hard in terms of build kind, I think follows that one. Young lady down here with that weather, that one's going to be reserved in the homegrown. Congratulations to you.
Whose animal was that, the reserve? Wade Rohrig is your champion homegrown. Who was reserve? Okay, Wade Rohrig is your champion homegrown. Wes Rohrig was your reserve champion.
Well, we get out here in the extra heavy division, and I think we talk about just again, name of the game is going to be freshness and build. That one right there, get in behind him. That's the wide-chested, big-backed one that's really wide out of his pin set. He touches the best out of his loin, and for me, puts the most positives together out here. That's the other one that looks like him, though, size and proportionality from the side. Young man, if we could just get this one bigger backed, we can get right in behind him. This view right here, give me more more of him out here, and then I can move him up. I think that guy's got a nice look from the side. Young lady, I think maturity is setting in on this one. We're getting a little heavy in our finish out here and just getting a little softer to the touch. You freshen that one up, though. That one's still got some bulk to him out here. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
West Roaring, your first place exhibitor. Nathan Voss, your second. And Lillian Hoffelren. Hoifley Wren, excuse me.
Well, I was wondering if I'd find a heavy that'd come out that, young lady, that one's still really fresh. That one's still really good build up front. Good job to you managing that one. I think management on that one is really good. How he presents himself from the side, that is a giant forearm and chest and a big back and a big hip, and still blends really well. And again, you never know what you're going to run into when you're county fair judging. And man, that one hits me hard out here. I think another one that we've got, the young man's got out here is really good in terms of feature and bone. Just give me more of that one, young man. I need a bigger cage. I need a bigger back in that one if we're going to get around the one that wins. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Sydney Rolls, your first place exhibitor. Colby Bushhorn in second.
Well, I think this class is a perfectly good example. The biggest backed one, biggest hipped one may not always win. We start getting up into these heavier weights, and the one that wins, I think, has enough muscle, young man. That one motors around the ring the best in terms of skeleton, in terms of balance, and that's the fresh one out here that still has muscle. He's really good out of his loin in this class. I think then we jump down to one that's bigger backed, young man. That one is got more muscle in him. He's bigger pinned out here. I need him to hold his lines together better. Maturity's starting to set in on his chest and just top line when we study his kind out here. I think that one up front, just holding himself together a little better with some muscle. I think, again, the one that leads out in third, I mean, this is the other one that has a lot of muscle in class. We just got to get his blade to tie in a little neater. We need that guy to handle fresher. Just gets a little softer and a little staler to the touch out here. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
Kane Nuring, your first place exhibitor. Caden Wheeler in second, and Brogan Buchanan in third.
Well, this final drive is going to be fun. Man, there are a lot of good ones that we're going to bring back out, and a few that surprised me in this division when we get out here and we talk about them. And I think we had some awfully good ones in class early on. Young lady comes out with one that is so fresh and attractive. Man, young lady, that guy is just so big-backed and fresh out here. And I was studying him. I was anxious to see how he'd stack up against this brown one out here. And man, when I get on top of him, I need this brown one to be better right here out of his shoulder blade. I need more loin in him. I need a little more pin set. I thought he had enough to get out of class, and I think he motors really well around the ring. But bottom line is that one is big pinned, that one is giant backed, and still good bladed. Champion reserve. Congratulations. Well, I'm pretty anxious to get into that final drive, but still give them the time they deserve out here. Every division, want to study them and give them the best sort that I can give them out here. I think between the two, this guy's just got a little more to him out here. I like him for reserve. Congratulations.
Caden Wheeler is your reserve champion homegrown.
Well, folks, those of you who are on ringside, if you would, let's make some noise for our champion drive out here, if you would. Outstanding set of goats throughout the whole day. I know we had a lot that came through the ring, and to find the ones that make it out of division and get into the final drive, it's all about the extras. Again, name of the game, how much muscle can we jam in them, still keep them good looking? And I think we've got these four right here that present really well. They run uphill, they're fresh, they're attractive, but their body shapes are wild when you get on top of them. They're big pin, they're big loined, and they do all those hard things, so they still stay good looking from the side. and even all the way down to our little guy down there. I like so many things about that one too out here. We got a good set of seconds though and reserves in those divisions, and man, they were awfully good. And we talked about towards the end of the Doe show, and I'll talk about it again a little bit. Passions run high. It's cost the most money to feed them right now and to get them to shows and to present them. All things have went up, input costs and all the above, and that creates a big need to win. Don't let that cloud your judgment from where we always got to get better. And I know that, man, the passions run high around ringside. Everybody wants to win. I can only pick two in this final moment that we've sorted through a lot of good ones out here. I stand for ones that are good-bodied, good-built, big-backed ones that are right in terms of their design and their ring presence. I think we got some out here that are awfully good from that standpoint. These showmen, though, have done such a good job throughout the show, and I can't think of a better crew. Thank you, young lady, for coming out here to help me. Thank you to all the crew for getting these things up here. I mean, they always had them up. They always had them right. The showmen, the attitude, everyone has been top-notch. My job has been very easy. I've been able to glide right through them, and I apologize. I mean no disrespect, but man, when they get them up here and they get them rolling, and these things are sorting and they're good out here. The one that hits me the hardest, I love athleticism. I love freshness. I love this build type. I think this guy fits well into his age and into his weight division. And young lady, I think that one's build quality is good. There's not another one out here that matches his look and his back shape. That one's going to be champion. Congratulations.
Aubrey Neal is your grand champion, meet goat weather.
This is what's interesting. It's something that I didn't expect to find out here. Young lady, we could get this one to present just a little neater out here. There we go. We get out here, and I think, there is not even another one in the entire show that even come close to that one. That one, this view right here, those of you behind there, that is a giant back and hip in that one. And man, he is so hard and fresh and good looking up through his neck and blade. He's a little big, young lady, but that's okay out here. That guy is so extra in so many areas. I like that one second best. He's going to be reserve. Congratulations.
Sydney Rolls is your reserve grand champion. Now a show for your grand champion, Homegrown. I need to see Sydney and Aubrey up here before they go anywhere. Sydney and Aubrey.
Well, we get out here for your champion born, and man, these things are awfully good. This young man that had that doe, I'm very excited to hear that one's county born out here, because young man, that one is a slick doe, is very good out here. I can only imagine what that one looked like was a fitted hair division with a bunch of hair on her, slicked out the way she needs to be. I think that one is really good. I like her an awful lot out here. She's going to be champion in this division. Congratulations.
Luke Seringhouse is your grand champion homegrown meat goat.
Well, buddy, I thought that one was yours. You come right back in and jump on the one that I need to be reserve out here, and it just happens to be yours. And again, I kind of forgot that. I like him that much. I don't think I should ever put anyone down if they've got the two best ones in the division. I think that brown one down there, if that one was better caged and a little bigger hipped out here, I could run with that brown one to be reserve. A young man, you're going to get them both. That one reserve. Congratulations.
Luke Seringhouse is your reserve grand champion homegrown meat goat. And Luke, I need to see you up here before you go anywhere. So Luke Seringhouse.